lie do you tell your kids? And Joe said, when we're trying to get our child to go to the bathroom before a trip, and they are not willing to do it, we have a code. And my wife says, oh, I just got a text that says you gotta go to the bathroom. He's like, Mommy just got a text. Kids are so stupid. It's amazing. That is the most amazing thing. Mommy got a text. You're like, a text? About me? Joe, did I get your child's name?
Ariana.
Ariana. So Joe is the dad to Ariana, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome Joe Steele.
Yo, so before I start, I just want to say thanks to all the organizers and coaches and everything, man. I know how much work. Thanks to everybody who came out missing the Cleveland Cavaliers game. I know I'm gonna stay mean to you, Fox. And I'm gonna share something with you guys that you know, it's really only been displayed for public like one time before. So my wife wrote me a letter a couple days after the incident, apologizing for putting me in that life-threatening predicament. I read it, I smiled it off with my usual childlike innocence and pushed the emotions aside, because that's what being a man is, isn't it? It's been a couple years, but we all know how time flies, and I can still replay the events back in my mind's eye. I hear the commotion, and I move to the porch thinking, what is this? I see 4 police officers surrounding the missus, and all this is apparently to write her a ticket for illegally parking. My wife is blacking out. She's already screaming and barking. And that's disheartening, because I forgot to mention, around this time, she was like 6.5 months pregnant. And that's important because it's the female officer hurling the most insults at the mother-to-be. I move in to calm my wife down. Now the other 3, they're coming up to me. That standard NYPD flanking maneuver. I ask, how many officers does it take to write a ticket in this town? And that sounds like the start of a joke, only without the humor. In all fairness, the lady cop's partner was the only one speaking to me like he was addressing another grown human. But the arrival of 3 more officers, his integrity's in question. It's more like an illusion. And it's the dude in the Interceptor. See, he's arrogant and sends my temper flaring when he tells my wife with a mouth like hers, she'll make for an unfit parent. That's the straw. So I puff my chest up now, not the least bit afraid. I congratulate his parents on raising such a handsome meter maid. That's chauvinistic, I know. But see, I'm blacking out now, and I'm trying to provoke a reaction. See, these dudes are surrounding me like a criminal, as if I'm not right here, standing directly in front of the home that I own. Voices elevate, words start flying around like the winds of a cyclone. Somewhere deep, my inner voice is telling me it's time to defuse, but my outer voice refused. And sometimes that's as deadly as the tools the police use. So let's recap. 6 officers on foot, 1 in an Interceptor, 2 more approaching. You ever go through something so chaotic, replay it back and notice how things moved in slow motion? It's like an out-of-body experience. So I look down at myself and I see myself, and I'm angry, but I'm calm. Even when she tells me, shut the fuck up, hand on her firearm. I'm incredulous, looking at her like, shorty, you ludicrous. The focus narrows, and it's just the two of us. And it's cool now because the attention's away from my wife and our future. Somewhere I wonder if when I'm gone, there'll be rioters and shooters. She's 2 steps away now, hand still on her weapon. I brace myself for whatever, and her partner steps in. Just like that. No words, no contact. He just walks between us and cuts off the angle. And in retrospect to that dude, I'd like to say thank you. Maybe he was just getting off work. It was late, wanted to go home. Just didn't feel like dealing with a bunch of BS paperwork. Or maybe he realized how idiotic the whole situation was. All this for one stupid ass parking ticket. Maybe he saw the light and realized how situations can escalate unwarranted and unscripted. I like to think that's it because that gives me hope. Now, my inner militant, that guy, he says, why are you thanking someone for not acting savagely? But I get home every day from work and my daughter smiles back at me, happily. You know, I haven't been afraid to die since I was like 15. I grew up in this city. It's around that time I realized death gonna come for all of us. But I am deathly afraid of leaving my little girl fatherless. And not so long ago, I made a couple internal promises. One to my wife, one to my brand new optimist. I said, we're bonded as family now, so as long as I can draw breath, I will protect, serve, and honor this. But with Justice Act Blind, we can't do the same. I'm sorry, miss, I'm a part of this. So I filed a complaint with the CCRB. When New York City has an entire website devoted to civilian complaints, how progressive are we? My wife was nervous about me going, but on the inside, I think she was proud like my pops. I told her, it's just a mediated, non-confrontational, one-on-one session with the cops, so how could I not go? And honestly, I wasn't expecting much except for the usual deflections and denials, thinking it was a way for cops to avoid due process investigations and trials. But for real, beyond the facts and those figures, I think that I believe that she learned more at that table with that mediator from our interaction than the ones who actually pulled their triggers. And frankly, that's ridiculous. Don't take this wrong, but I think I'm here for more than an appearance on a mural or a t-shirt. But for my 2 favorite women, I'll dig my heels in until my feet hurt. At least to the NYPD get that much needed rework. And that's without hesitation or obligation. I straight up volunteered. So y'all can pass me a mic and let the crowds come near. I can breathe because I am still here. 8 days, 5 months, and 3 years after the incident.